Hi, I'm Leah.
And I'm Deveter, and you're listening to
Let's Chat.
Hey, Leah.
Hey, Mommy.
How you doing?
You know,
You hanging in?
yeah,
Okay, good. You're really close to me this week.
I am.
Why is that, I
'Cause,
wonder?
we have
We
a
have
special guest.
a special guest. Who
Yeah.
is our guest joining us today?
What should we call him today?
You can call him what you want to call him.
We have Fatherin here.
Fatherin.
My dad
is hanging out with us today
yes.
on the podcast. Hi, Fatherin.
Hello, ladies.
How's it going?
I feel like y'all suckered me into this.
Well,
That's what we do.
Very last minute.
Very last minute.
It's an awesome honor to be here amongst Leah Simone and the Mrs. Deveter,
Yes.
Leah and Deveter podcast. You guys do a phenomenal job each week.
Thank you.
And I'm so proud of you guys, especially you, Leah, I feel like you're getting a personal school lesson each week with Mom. And, I got to tell you something. Your grandma, Nana, may she rest in heaven, your mom was really close to her.
Yeah.
And if this technology was back then, it couldn't even compare what, she's bringing on the generation of a mother-daughter relationship, which you don't really see in this day and age amongst a lot of the children. And it's close. Some people, parents, they do for their kids just because of the obligation and what they feel like they need to do. Mm-hmm. But when you go beyond the obligation line and just say, we're gonna be friends. We're gonna have a sister-mother relationship. And even though there's a line between that, we still can talk. We still can communicate. Mm-hmm. Your mother doesn't have a lot of girlfriends. And, it is the way that you respond to her pouring of love into your life, not just as a mom, but as someone who's supposed to guide you and, befriend you. You're really blessed. And I love the way you receive it and give it back to her, what she's looking for. So I'm very proud of you.
That's wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much. That was a heavy beginning.
It
wow.
Was,
oh, my goodness.
That was pretty awesome. Thank you, babe.
Thank you.
No, it's a lot. It's a lot.
It's wonderful.
Yeah. I mean, in that same light, I could say thank you to you. You were the catalyst behind us actually getting started on this podcast. And, it was just an idea that we had in 2020. And we were like, yeah, that would be cool to, have an opportunity to talk to other mothers and daughters. And you were like our champion.
Yes.
You did the research on the podcast, what it should be, how it could be pulled off, and you are affording us this opportunity to share our relationship with the world. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
Welcome very much. Welcome very
Highly
much.
appreciated.
Highly appreciated. So what we want to talk with Dad about today, Leah?
I have zero idea.
Well, no, I think I really would like to hear your perspective on parenting in this generation, because it's different than parenting when we were growing up. Like a couple of podcasts ago, Leah and I were talking about the responsibilities and, how things were for me as a 14-year-old. How are things for you as a 14-year-old? Who was 14-year-old Stix?
So 14 years old is different because my situation was different. Mm-hmm. My mother was sick. My mother had an aneurysm, stroke aneurysm, and she wasn't allowed to raise me with her disability. But the family stepped up. Mm-hmm. My aunts, my grandmother, my uncle, but my dad wasn't around. Mm-hmm. But my dad's mother was around. My brother, so the family kind of stepped up for me to where I didn't have a lot of hard trials and things like that. I didn't have a hard life. But the thing that I did notice that was missing was my dad. Mm. He wasn't in the picture. Mm-hmm. And I think that right there is something for the children, our children, is I want to give them something that I didn't have. Mm-hmm. Yes, it takes a village, and I thank God for the village that raised me. But when you have that chief, that's supposed to be the head of the household, and countless single moms who took on the job of the men who failed their families. Salute to all the moms, all the single mothers out there. you just have to have a personal thing to say, this is something I don't want my seed to deal with. Yeah. And salute to all the fathers who step up to take on the responsibility of raising their children, you know what I'm saying? Or being in their children's lives as best that they can, whether they're with the mother or not, they want to be in the child's life. And as hard as it may seem, the way society is built around men, where they hold you accountable in more ways than one that you don't agree with, it is something that I personally was like, in spite of all of that, I want to give my children something that I physically did not have, which was a dad in the home.
That's really powerful. That's really, really powerful. And I think, when we first started dating, tell the people how long we've been together, dear.
So we've been together for 3 years. A decade each year.
It's been a while.
How long have we been together, Leah?
Hasn't it been like 30 years?
30 years.
Yes. Whole lifetime. What are you guys doing?
A whole
lifetime.
Lifetime.
Yeah. And it comes with, Leah, if you we want the same thing for you. You, your brothers, we're praying that y'all will find love in the right places, and that love will be to death do you part. It's not easy in this day and age. It's everything but, y'all switch it like y'all switching channels. Like,
it's tough.
It's tough. Okay.
Coming from what I see on social media, guys, come on.
Yeah. What do you see on social media about relationships? Well, first, what do you see on social media about parenting? Like, the parenting stuff, is that not parenting like people showing their babies, ooh, cute kid, but more so like in the comment section where people are talking about their lives and how they're being parented. Like,
a lot of it is how their parents have failed them in some sort of way. Because on social media, a lot of it is negative stuff.
Yeah.
And people sharing their negative experiences. So that's one of them that I see often. It's just like, well, what you want me to do? I'm sorry. I have to give you all the sympathy I have.
Is this what you deal with every week?
Yes.
Well, what you
sorry, not my problem. That's what I can do about that. What do you want me to do? Yes, this is what I deal with every week.
Oh my gosh.
So the comments that you see around parenting, like, do they talk about their relationships or the lack thereof with their father, for example?
Yeah, like some, yeah. So sometimes when I'm on TikTok or like Instagram, it's like posts like, oh, how I love my dad and stuff, and people in the comments just like guilt tripping other people, like, oh, it must be nice. Like, all right, like, keep that to yourself, because sometimes you just got to share the good things and not worry about your own like bad. Like, let people have their moment.
I agree. How do you feel like when people are talking, even in your own circle, when people are talking about the lack of their father or the lack of relationship, how does that make you feel when you could come home and your dad, is present?
It's like, that's tough. Like, I'm sorry that you have to go through that. Yeah. And like, I'm sure that there's other examples for you, because a lot of my friends like have that other like person to be there for them. Like, it's not just one parent. So, well, doing all right.
Doing all right. That's good. I'm glad to hear that. Because I did not grow up with my father in my household, just like your dad. I didn't have that, my father, but I had my uncle. Yeah. And that definitely made a difference. But for you, and I've said this on a podcast in the past, that when I see you and your dad's relationship and the things that you have in common, my heart just is so full, because I'm just so happy, that you have that experience that I didn't have, that he didn't have, just to have your dad present in your life. Parenting.
Yeah, it's something where you want to break traditional generation. I don't know if it's called the curse or not, but you want to break that brokenness in family. Yeah. You have the opportunity to do it. Don't take it lightly as you get older. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Don't take family lightly. Train your children, to take what you've done further than where you can take it. And there's nothing wrong with that. They're supposed to. You know what I'm saying? They're supposed to be able to carry the baton and do it differently, do it more, than the ways we did. In our days, it was, don't touch that. Why not? Because I said so.
Right.
They're too educated to just, why are you saying so? They're going to ask you these questions. So you can't just go by that anymore. You know what I mean? And with all that's going on, they're being taught not just by you anymore.
That's right.
There's so many things, y'all. We're quick to give our kids the devices just to keep them quiet when those devices are giving them these lessons and these ways to talk, and these things that you have rights for this and you have rights for that. If you're not up with the times, they're gonna outright talk you out of what you think you know. So it's important to be like, with you guys in your generation, we are responsible and we need to be wise enough to say, okay, I need to train you. I need to train you, and then once I train you all that I can, you'll be able to face what it is that you need to do for your time.
I agree. That's definitely parenting 101. How are we doing?
You guys are doing great.
Are you sure?
Just living life.
Sometimes I'll be like, am I all right, mother? Like, I actually do ask myself that question at times. Am I too soft? Am I too hard? Am I, like, where do I fit in the parenting scheme of things? Because my goal, is to always work myself out of a job. And what I mean by that is, like Franklin just said, train you guys up in a way that when you leave from me, I've done my job. I've done everything I was supposed to do in order to make you good citizens of the world. That's all I want to do. I want to make sure that when you graduate from high school, that you can stand on your 2 feet and be like, these are decisions that I'm going to make, and move forward from there.
This podcast is showing that you're doing that, because I'm not over here saying all the terrible things.
No, you're not. Thank God.
I'm telling people to be good people. What you mean? Hello?
Telling people to
Be good people.
Please.
Is it like be good people or people be good? Like
both.
Be good people.
Just do what you feel like needs to be done, but don't go around like being a bad person. Like, make the world better, because a lot's going on. Do what you can. Be polite. Open a door, and call it a day.
Is this really what you go through?
Yes.
It's just
cut and simple.
Please.
Like, and
It's not that hard.
Yeah, that's one thing about you that I really do admire, is you're very direct. Like, this is the way it is. You either gonna take it or you're gonna leave it. But this is the way it is, and it's not that hard.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
So here's one thing I do want you to understand, even though that's as plain and simple it could be, right? But then you still question, why do people still do what they do? And there's a saying where misery loves company. If I'm miserable, I want you to be miserable too. I remember your mom having a boss who was just always nasty to her. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, why are you always smiling? One day I'm going to make you not smile. Who says that?
Who says that? She said that.
You know what I'm saying?
I'll never forget that. Yeah. She was like, you're always so happy. Why are you always so happy? One day I'm going to do something to make you mad. I was like,
Okay.
Yeah. So you got to understand, these are factual sayings, right? And then you have to know how to digress from that, switch that around. And there's this song saying that, I still have my joy. No matter what comes my way, you know what I'm saying? You can't steal my joy away. Don't let nobody take away your happiness. But you got to be smart when to cut things off.
Right.
Like, some things are just toxic and addictive. And if you're like, nah,
Just gotta stop.
you just got to be
Gotta
like,
go.
stop. You know what I'm saying? Grandma always say, never let your heart control your mind. Because you love it so much, you're just even if it's abusive to you, but your mind, knowing that, this is not good for me. You know what I'm saying? So you can't let your heart control your mind. You know what I mean? So
That was good.
stay with that.
That was sturdy.
we be dropping nuggets on here. We be dropping nuggets.
Going off. I'll take that one.
Leah, did you know that we didn't want children?
You told me that before. Look at
It wasn't in the contract,
This is
man.
good. This is great.
I was being selfish with it. I wanted her all to
wrong.
myself. She's all to myself. I didn't want to share it with
close to
nobody.
that, no.
And then one day she broke the contract. She said, every time you're going away on the road, I'm by myself. This has to change now.
Oh.
Yeah.
I did not want children, but I am so glad
Good decision.
that, my mind was changed.
Good decision.
Yeah, I can't imagine not being you guys' mom.
Like a kids.
You are good kids. Aw. Sorry.
She just got
All right.
Got really
So
emotional there. Is it
you
okay?
guys can tell who the mushy parent is and who's the stern parent. I'm definitely the mushy parent, like the I don't want them to grow up parent.
She
That's
does
me.
not.
Yeah, I remember the first day of kindergarten. He was celebrating. I was like, oh. Yeah. Parenting is no joke, but it's a good thing.
Yeah.
And, we're really glad that we have this platform and that we can share with the world and we can introduce our ideas and our thoughts on how parenting should go and what works for us.
Yeah.
Because what works for us might not work for somebody else. But I think one of the major things is to communicate. Make sure that you are communicating openly and honestly with your loved ones.
Yes.
Yay!
This is wonderful.
Thanks for hanging out with us today.
You're welcome, ladies.
We appreciate you.
You're welcome.
So, do you want to tell the people what they should do?
Yeah, you could. Okay, tell the people, keep smiling, keep shining, knowing that you can always count on me.
That's not what we was talking about.
Oh, I was just gonna give. That's what friends are.
No, that's what friends are for. No,
Sorry.
we want them to subscribe. That kind of thing. Okay, you're
your
embarrassing your child.
What? She's something. I was giving them some nuggets.
No. Tell them what they need to do, Leah.
All right. So, besides that, because that was wonderful, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit the bell, because it's free and you can change your mind. But don't, because we need you. You're very important here.
Yes.
And also in the description is our social, so you can follow that too. So,
yeah, come and hang out with us. Come back and listen. You never know who might be hanging out with Leah and Deveter. Today we have a famous musician, Mr. Stix Bones. Definitely check him out on his socials. Let the people know where they can find you, Stix.
Oh yeah, Stix Bones at everything. Stix Bones on Instagram, Stix Bones on Twitter, Stix Bones on Facebook. Yeah, and Spotify, definitely.
Check them out.
Put me in the playlist.
Put them in the playlist.
Go hard.
Salute to the
Stix
Bone Squad.
Bones. Thank you guys so much for listening. This has been another wonderful edition of Let's Chat
Yes, very much.
with, what's your name?
Leah
And Deveter. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye.